Hey everybody. We are doing a during the day stream. I took the day off today. Yesterday was my birthday, so I'm celebrating here a little bit just to kind of take it easy and just do what I want to do. So here we are, playing some Satisfactory right where we left off. We're going to have some fun today. We're going to go through and do some different things and hit in the chat if there's anything. I'll ask some questions as we go through. Hit in the chat if there's if you want to weigh in on what we do. If I have a few different options of things to chase down. So we've done quite a bit of work. I've been streaming when I can, but quite a bit of work to build things out. I am getting ready to actually go and do an expansion and actually start kind of like with a lot of the things I've learned, a better, like another base that'll be kind of structured a little bit more organized, not as spaghetti-ish. And I'll actually show you here what I mean by that. You know, my overall layout is pretty chaotic. Just kind of belts going in and out everywhere. You know, you have to kind of duck, dodge, weave, and pivot to get around in here. But I have started to do more structure in some of the other builds I've done to try to make things a little bit more laid out as I've learned as I've gone. One example of that is probably some of the structure that I've started to do with my power plants over there, and some of the structure I have for power generation and getting rid of some of the waste. And then also a little bit here with some of what I've done and started to learn how to do building stacking and everything, to try to make it look a little bit more realistic, a little bit more what you might see out there, and put things within facilities. So kind of where I've been at and where I've been going. And so I don't know if I'm quite ready to go there, but as I do different nodes of processing or handling, of handling different materials or trying to produce different things, I keep trying new things to improve the overall structure and make it a little bit more organized. And also as I unlock different things. So one of the things that I've unlocked that could make a big difference in that, and I didn't know that it was going to have as much of a difference as it does, is the programmable splitter, where you can have multiple in, multiple out. Smart splitter, you can have multiple in and then single out per output, and you can program each one of them to be, this goes here, that goes there, and then everything else goes through this third one or whatever. With the programmable splitter, I can have 20 different things get processed to the left output, 15 different ones to the right, and 20 to the top, right? So that can really start to help when you're trying to move materials over and trying to create like a bus system to process and move a lot of things over a long period or a long span. So start to get into a little bit more of the calculations as well in terms of belt speeds on the feeds and everything else on how you proportion things going in. So that's overall where we're at on this. Still continuing to work my way through. I did just unlock, let me go back over here. I did just unlock nuclear power as well as geothermal generators. I have not done anything with either of those yet. I'm probably going to go over and do a geothermal here shortly. I have a couple geysers not far from my base, just to kind of see how that goes. And you can kind of see what that power production looks like, from impure being 50 to 150 megawatts, 100 megawatt average, normal being 100 to 300 with a 200 average, and 200 to 600 with a 400 average for the geothermals. Then nuclear is just enormous, 2,500 megawatts. Now you have to be ready to handle all of the radioactive materials, and you have to make sure that you can process all of the waste and everything else. That is something I have not gotten into yet, but at 2,500 megawatts per nuclear power plant, that sounds real promising. So, and I do have an alien power augmenter in place, which does help tremendously because it gives you additional percentage boost on your power throughout the facility. Based on whatever's on that particular grid. I have not broken the grid down. I do need to start to clean some of that up as well so that I can use power switches and priority power switches. So if I do run into a power situation again like I did a week or so ago, I don't have to go and just start deleting lines. I can actually just have it automatically start to disconnect to keep the primary feeds going, because it can be very disruptive if all of a sudden you lose the power to your water pumping, as well as to your coal or whatever other materials are feeding the power plants. Now you got to get all of that back up and running, and got to cut other power off to get that up and running and stable again. And that ended up being quite challenging. So, hey, Kazakh, good to see ya. Hooray. You made it on. We were just chatting. That's really exciting. So, good to see you. So, yeah, I was actually just talking to Kazakh about a new desk that I'm going to be building. I saw on Facebook Marketplace a part of somebody had ripped out an old bowling lane, and we're selling pieces of it. And there's a piece that was actually perfect because it's the actual pin dots for all of that. Actually, I can probably show you here because I'm really excited about it. Oh, I got to turn off my chimes there, but that's okay. So I'm going to show you the chimes here, or the chimes. See, now I get things in my head. It's one of those days. Here we go. And click on that view. Open image in new tab. And I should be able to share it here on screen. So I'm just going to add in an image. See if I can do this on the fly here. That is not it. Save it. All the things I've lost. I miss my mind the most. Oh, because I haven't actually finished saving it yet. Now I've finished saving it. Go to the downloads and add it there. So here you can see that is what I have, and that's going to be turning into a desk. That's going to be my gaming desk. So it's got some stuff I've got to do some cleanup and everything, some old grime and stuff from the lane oil, etc. But I used to love bowling, and so I used to be in leagues and just really had a good time with it. So this is just something that's going to be really awesome, and it's going to have a lot of character, something nobody else has. And I'm going to be putting it on sit-stand motorized legs. Which I'm going to have to get really powerful ones because this is about 200 pounds. It is 2¼ inches thick of solid hardwood. And so I'll be trimming that up in the driveway. I'll do some recording of that and post it up onto YouTube, and maybe talk about it on one of my streams. But that'll be the next woodworking project that I do is getting that desk set up and running. And that'll also be deep enough where I can actually also have enough space for my Lego building and some of the other streaming. I will have it deep enough that I can actually then do the top-down shots there for that build mat. So I can actually do all of my streaming from one place, which is really exciting. Instead of having a separate table and setup on the other side of my very messy basement. So I can start to get some order to the chaos here. So hopefully that image came through okay. And now I will go ahead and mute that and drop it out. So I'm really excited about that. Anyway, let's get back to the Satisfactory. So I'm actually going to go take a look out at one of my other facilities that I have for processing sulfur. I want to see how it's doing out there. So we're just going to take a hyper tube out there, take a look. And I've got a few things on my to-do list here today. So and some things I want to build and clean up and get going. And I also have to check on how my aluminum production at my bauxite facility is doing as well. But we're just going to keep hypertubing out. I thought I destroyed those toxic towers. I might have to go back and do that too. Beautiful thing. I also have to check while I'm on the tube here. I want to check my audio settings. I'm still good there. All right. Windows 11, for those of you on PC, Windows 11 has some really funky settings sometimes that you have to be careful of when you're processing audio, and if you want it to sound really good. And it's your audio DG file, and you have to set it to high priority and limit it down to only one processor. Otherwise, it can sometimes trip on itself and go either super sped up and like chipmunky, or slow it down, or do like robotic layering as it reassembles the audio. It's a weird thing with Windows 11, and I always like to check that. Also, because I'm using Voice Meter to handle a lot of my different inputs and outputs of my audio. Always experimenting with that, but sometimes when you're doing that, especially, it really shows in Discord. For some reason, Discord really highlights that when you're on Discord audio chats. So I can tell when my settings need to be reset, because usually it's when I do a driver update, it'll reset it back to the default. On startup, I have a batch file that I run that handles it on startup and automatically sets it, so I don't have to remember to do it. But that's just nerd stuff. Okay, so we have this assembler here, and this assembler is currently making my rifle ammo, and then that is processing over into storage, and then the storage is feeding into a secondary assembler that is now converting that over as it gets enough high-speed connectors into homing rifle ammo, which I have not had the pleasure of trying yet against some of the beasties that sneak up on you. I'm hopeful that it'll be much better at handling the stingers, which are the spider creatures, which I don't like spiders, so the quicker I can make them go away, the better, but they are also incredibly fast. So that can be tricky. And I've got quite a bit of homing rifle ammo, so I can probably tune it down here in terms of how much my that's going into the depot. How much my high-speed connectors I'm using on that. So I might. Yep, there went some more. But what I'll probably do here now is just disconnect this for the time being. I'm thinking the best way might be to just put smart splitter down here that I can just turn it on and off, basically using it like a switch. Okay. I did discover a couple days ago the value of the H key in this that allows you to kind of lock the hologram, and then you can move around and kind of eye it in and use your arrow keys to get it aligned just right. Okay. And then put that one here. But first, I'm going to hit this to none. So now it's not going to process anything, but I'll still have my belt run, so it keeps it nice and clean. So now the next time that I have a train come through, it'll drop 5 to 7 to 8 high-speed connectors. It'll come up here and they'll just stop there and start to back into my storage bin. So let's just go over here and wait for the train to come. Yeah, I need to not take my eyes off of my chat so much. I have it right here and right here and right here. I'm all over the place, and right here. I think I'll be on probably for a few hours. We'll see where we're at lunchtime. It's 10:42 Eastern here. I'll definitely be on at least until 12. I'm probably, knowing me being a nerd, I'll probably be on until it's time for me to go to a doctor's appointment later, which is 2 o'clock. So maybe till 1:30. It'll be on and off, but we'll see. If I'm tuckering out, I'll tucker out, and I'll just try to post on Discord if that's going to happen. But if you got to jump, you got to jump. I appreciate you. And I'm going to toggle my view here for a quick second because I have to grab something from the room. little bit of a drip on my coffee, so I had to grab a napkin. All right. And the train is coming. There's the Sulphur Express there, so it should be coming around the corner in a second. It'll be coming around the corner. When it comes, I'm losing my mind. All right. Here he comes. So nothing on the second cart. It didn't pick anything up. So first cart will have some, and the third cart will have some of the byproduct, some of the residual oil from my fuel processing. And the first cart should have, emphasis on should, have some high-speed connectors in it. But it looks like I might have broken something if it's not picking up any of the other materials from the last station. Oh, right. This one picks up from here and takes the other one. That's what it is. Ugh, my brain is a horrifying place. So now it's just going to switch those loads over. And I just want to make sure that this works the way it's supposed to. Okay, and here come my high-speed connectors as well as some copper rolls that'll go through processing here. Now we're just going to wait for those high-speed connectors to come down. And then they should hit and stop. I think they did. They didn't go through. I don't know what kind of a buffer it has. Oh, yep, there you go. There's the last one of it right there. So it is working, so I can move along. Also, I have a little bit of a backload here of my powders, so I'm going to, I think I have some Mercer spheres. I do, so I'm going to hit it with a dimensional depot at the top here so I can have that available. Oh, what am I missing? Oh, I'm missing my SAM. Okay, well, we'll have to go back and get that. So I'll have that on my list of stuff that I have to bring back next time. So I can put a Mercer sphere up there and dimensional depot. And then what that'll do is that'll enable me to have my, hey, Vahudi, good to see ya. How's everything going over there in Finland? You getting towards the end of your evening there? I know I have a lag because shortened bandwidth and everything else of non-affiliate people, but so I'll keep chatting while I'm waiting for the lag to work its way out. Also, awesome. Try Agilite. Thank you for the follow. Hooray. Good to have you here. Hopefully you'll jump over to the Discord server and introduce yourself over there too. I would really appreciate that as always. And I'm going to see. I'll drop the link in here in case you don't have that. Yeah, so I'm going to head back over here for now, but we're going to start to do some of our task list things here and try to get some things going for aeronautical engineering. That'll allow me to do drone manufacturing and continue to work towards the infrastructure I need to develop the pieces I need for my phase 4 of my space station up there. Just all cool. I want to live in a space station. All right. But yeah, Vahudi, everything been going well? I'm hoping you're done with that that latest AT-AT build. I'm still waiting to see the pictures of the recreation of the Battle of Hoth. I keep holding you to it. Even though you never agreed to do it, I just gave you a challenge, and so now I'm assuming that it must be done. Let's go put my supercomputer over here. I think we're in good shape on that. I've got enough iodine-infused filters and gas filters so I can start to pick some of that up. I'm going to check how my power load is doing. So I'm producing 10 to 11,000 capacity. My max is only at 5623. So I'm doing all right for now. I can still do more. I don't want to even get even close to that capacity make. Oh, you made a small clip in your IG? All right. I'm going to go take a look at the old Insta. I want to see. Why is it somehow get lost? I might need you to drop me a link again there, Vahudi, if you don't mind. Totally cool to do it in the chat here, if you're welcome, if you'd like to, or you can send it to me on Discord. Because for some reason it's not in my list and I want to see. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, wow. That's pretty. Okay, now I'm going to make sure that you're back on there. Oh, I do have his following already. I wonder why it wasn't showing up on my list. Ooh, that is fantastic. And next to the, that's friggin' awesome. And next to the Eiffel Tower is really cool too. So I applaud you. That is really, really cool. I'm definitely getting a little jelly here. Amazing. I'm mesmerized. And you had to put it next to the UCS Star Destroyer. You jerk. I mean that in the nicest of ways. I want that UCS Star Destroyer so badly. That is great. Thanks for sharing that. Huh. All right. Let's get back here to where we were at here. So I eventually can be working on the blender. I don't need that at the moment, though. Where I am going to need to start to process is getting ready. So maybe we'll go take a look at the geothermal generator first and move over there. The white snow, you actually, what I would recommend is getting, they go on sale every now and then too, or you can find them, honestly, they sell, you see them quite a bit on Facebook Marketplace or on some other resellers. Get a bunch of white base plates and start with that, and then you could just add a little bit of detail initially onto the sides to kind of make it look cavernous. Because I mean, the nice thing, the advantage of Battle of Hoth is most of it is just white tundra, not very much, and then you have like those mountains on the sides. and you can cover a lot more ground very quickly, or you could just put it on like a piece of white fabric or like white, get like a big roll of white paper. Could be a great way too. It doesn't have to all necessarily be Lego bricks initially. Just my thoughts. But yeah, that's really awesome. I honestly, so here's the fun part. I don't even have a space in my house big enough to even try to stage a photo like that or a setup like that, much less having the AT-ATs that you have. That's awesome. And like I said, I'm definitely thinking I might need to do that before they officially retire, which is coming up real soon. So I'm going to keep an eye out for the sale, that UCS set to go on sale, because I think that's one of those ones I'm going to regret if I don't get it. Just like the UCS Star Destroyer. But I do have the Venator, so there is that. All right. So for the geothermal generator, I do need to make sure I have 25 of the connectors, so I'm going to make sure I grab those. Also, I needed to grab some SAM for over at the other plant, which is where I'm going to have most of those quick connectors. So I'm going to grab some of the SAM here, the SAM fluctuators. So this way we can make sure we have all of that on quick pull. Because I do not have quick connectors going into, oh, I know I do have high-speed connectors going into processing. So maybe I need to make a change over at the other plant over here so it doesn't even get sent over there initially. Whee. By the way, this big box over here, which doesn't have any roof on it yet, just a glass plate, is my newest construction I did yesterday. Whoop. No, got too close. It sucked me in. Here we go. And so it is it's basically just two manufacturings inside. So let's go inside here and take a look. Is the animation just not loading? I just walked right through it and clipped right through it. Weird. All right. So then it's got the processing here, and this is making those high-speed connectors. So I've got everything coming in on this side, and you can actually look down through the glass floor here and see that it's doing the same thing at the bottom level. And then on the other side, it's churning it out and outputting over onto the other side there. So you can kind of see where that's at. Right now, it's just waiting for QuickWire to get there in order to process the next high-speed connector. So I don't have, it's all about having the right balance of and speed of materials getting in. And right now, QuickWire is definitely the short pole in the tent. So we're going to go make sure we get that figured out. Whoops, fell off. And then that goes over here, combines into this combiner, and then up and into these stacks for storage. So I need to stop them from sending it over to the train, because then they're not building up here and it's never getting to, there we go, to my depot. And what I probably should do is actually handle it before it gets into the stacks, so that I'm not, I don't like to have to destroy belts to stop it, because then you forget how you had it set up in the first place and you have to go back and fix it.